Hey friends, it's Wayne Polson. Today is T-minus 18 days and counting until April 2nd, the day of the big reveal. It'll be big for me anyway, and I hope that you'll be there. Kind of cooled off a little bit today. I had a regular work day at the hospital today, and it was too cold and still not enough daylight hours in the evening here to allow me to go down to Heartland and do any productive work. So tonight I'm going to try to tackle a problem I've had with my trailer light system on my truck here. I'm going to go through some troubleshooting on that. I'm going to bring you along with me. Maybe you'll find it interesting, maybe not. I hope you do. If you do, stick around and watch it through to the end, and let's see what happens. Now, I haven't rehearsed any of this. I don't know what I'm going to find here. I think the symptom that I have right now is the left tail light on the trailer does not work. I want to say that the tail light works, but the brake light and the turn signal does not on the left. Correction, on the right side. It's that side over there, but when I'm driving that way, that would be my right side, right? I don't know. We'll figure it all out, won't we? Let's watch. All right, folks, so the first thing I want you to notice is I have a 7-pin or a 7-pole, an alternative name for this, meaning that it has 7 electrical contacts inside, 7 poles or 7 pins. And I don't use all of those pins. I really only use, since my trailer doesn't have brakes, I don't use the brake signal. It does not have backup lights, so I don't use the backup lights. So really the only thing I use is the ground. I use the left turn signal, the right turn signal, and the tail lights, or running lights. I downloaded this little cheat sheet here from the internet. This is really a good illustration. It's one of the best I've found. It's very clear. It tells you that you're looking at the connector on the truck. It tells you that you're looking into the connector so that there's no mistaking this for the front or the rear of the connector. Sometimes you'll find diagrams that show the wiring side, the orientation as viewed from the wires. This is the orientation as viewed from this direction, looking into the connector like that. And it also lists then pin numbers around the connector. It also lists the signals that you'll find at each one of these particular pins. So it's all pretty straightforward. I'll put a link to this website where you can download these images if you want to keep them for future use. Now there's also a mirror image of this at the same website that shows the trailer side. That would be the side that plugs into this connector. So I'm not going to get into that tonight. We're going to stick strictly with the truck. A few things you might need. A test light. Now I made this test light. It's just a 12-volt light bulb with some old test leads that I had from an old voltmeter. If you have good soldering skills, you can just solder them onto this lamp like this. I put the red wire on the center to represent positive and the black wire on the brass part to represent ground. It'll work either way. It doesn't really matter. It's just a convention I use. The other thing that you could use in place of this is a voltmeter. You can get a little pocket meter, whatever floats your boat. I use all of the above. I use a meter when it's convenient. If I'm testing something that I don't want to draw a lot of current with my test setup, I'll use a meter instead of this light bulb. This light bulb will draw some current from the battery. Not enough to cause a problem, though, as you'll see here. This is just convenient to have lying around. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and take this piece of tape. I brought this along so I could hold this door open while we troubleshoot, because this tends to slam shut on you. Can you guys actually see those 7 pins? Probably not. I'm going to get a different camera angle. Okay, so for the purposes of illustration here, I went ahead and taped our legend to the bumper. I have my test light taped to the bumper. So the only thing I have to do now is just use my test leads. So I'm going to try my best to get in here and get some testing done. So right now I have no lights on at all. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the headlights. Okay, so at this point I have the headlights on, so that means the tail lights should be active back here. So as you can see from the illustration, tail light and running lights are pin number 3 in reference to ground at pin number 1. It's important to reference to this point because This is the way that the trailer gets its ground. It gets it through this contact, not through the metal connection on the trailer hitch. So don't be deceived by that. This ground has to be there. So I'm going to be measuring from this ground right here to pin number 3. We have a tail light. So the next thing I'm going to do is, and by the way, that would be both tail lights, okay? So that single wire is split in the trailer to go to both the left and the right tail light filament in the light bulb. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn on my left turn signal. Okay, so now I have the left turn signal on. Now I turned the left signal on. I could just as easily have applied the brakes and then both the left and the right brake light and turn signals would illuminate. But in this case, I want to demonstrate how this will look if I test one signal light at a time. So again, in reference to the ground connection here, we notice that the left turn signal is this bottom line going up to pin 5. Ground. Pin 5, and there's our left turn signal. I'll do the same test on the right turn signal, and that's the one I'm having problems with. I have the right turn signal turned on at this point. If you notice from the illustration here, the right turn signal is directly opposite the left. As a matter of fact, a nice way to remember this is that as you're looking into this connector, the left turn signal is the left contact, right turn signal is the right contact. Somebody was doing their homework when they designed that layout. Ground to the right. Check it out. No light bulb. So right now what I've done is I've eliminated the trailer as the problem. It's possible that the trailer could have been the problem. I could have had issues with the trailer wiring, and the trailer is not here tonight. So I know now that my right turn signal is not getting out to that pin. So as a final test, I want to check the brake light system on both the left. Now those signals, the brake light signal will appear on both the left and the right turn signal lines because it's the same filament in the light bulb on this particular trailer. Now we expect to see that there will be no voltage on the right hand turn signal wire. Let's find out. So I'm going to go to ground. I'm going to check the left side first. This is left. So the left turn signal, or the left brake light is functional. Here's the right. Oh, guess what? The right brake circuit is functional as well. What that tells me is I have a connector that's miswired. Probably the signal that is on the right side is the trailer brake signal right here. This wiring harness behind here had several wires that were hard to tell what the actual color coding was on those. So it's possible when I put this connector on, I connected a trailer brake signal line to pin 6, which is supposed to be the right turn stoplight. And that means that the actual right turn signal wire is still inside the harness disconnected. So that's probably my error. I'll correct it, and I will let you know what I find out in another video. So there you have it, folks. That's the end of day T-18 and counting. I'm going to wrap it up for the night. I'm going to go in and edit, get this thing posted, try to get some sleep, and I will catch up with you guys tomorrow for T-17 days and counting. Be kind to somebody you don't know. Keep that love flowing. It's the only thing that will win the world. Keep it up, folks. Love you guys. See you next time.